Welcome back to the channel. This is your boy Rich Latta here, back with another video. Very special video we're doing today. Very special video today. We're going to be talking about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever in their 2025 season. We're going to do a comprehensive preview here, looking at a lot of different angles, reflecting on last year, and talking about what I expect. So lock in and let's get it started. So last year I started covering the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark on YouTube, and a lot of people really gravitated towards the coverage, and I thank you and appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to an awesome season talking with you guys, game reviews and everything else, any news stories that come across. And obviously it started, with Caitlin Clark pretty much shattering all expectations in her rookie season, set rookie season scoring records, 761 points, 321 assists, breaking the record for total assists in WNBA history, not just for rookies, but any player. Right now, she is the current favorite to win the 2025 WNBA MVP award, according to a lot of different betting sites. She has been, bet on quite heavily. Of course, there's going to be a big battle to occur between herself, A'ja Wilson, Napheesa Collier, and a few others. But this team is not the team that came into last season. Last season, it was more, what is this phenomenon for a lot of people? Last season, it was 11 games in 20 days to start. It was a embattled coach kind of in over her head, just dropped off with the player of a generation, not really knowing how to fully deploy that weapon. It was a lot of team chemistry needing to be built. It was the core of Clark, Mitchell, and Boston kind of emerging with other role players such as Lexi Hull or Demiris Dantas who stuck around. It was losing players like Temi Fagbenle to the Golden State Valkyries via the expansion draft that were very popular players amongst the Indiana Fever fan community. It was a huge roller coaster from starting slow in the season to finally getting that first win against the LA Sparks, and then turning into a completely different team in the second half of the season as they made the playoffs for the first time in 8 years, where they faced off with the Connecticut Sun and lost 2-0. Either way you slice it, getting to the 6th seed was a phenomenal achievement, but this year, my expectations are much higher. And so, apparently, is the team's. This team spent the offseason overhauling the coaching staff, overhauling the trainers, overhauling the players, and giving Clark, Mitchell, and Boston the proper supporting cast with great veterans like DeWanna Bonner and Natasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, all stepping into roles from their teams respectively in Dallas, Phoenix, and Connecticut. Sydney Colson comes in to back up Caitlin Clark. And looking at the players that the Fever lost, they lost Nalissa Smith, very controversial player. Erica Wheeler, longtime veteran in the league, was one of the players that really embraced Caitlin Clark and became a fan favorite. Katie Lou Samuelson is no longer on the roster. Christy Wallace became a voluntary not play person, to where the Fever still retain her rights, but she's not going to be playing in the league this year. What started as a pretty young team last year comes in with plenty of experience, not only in the regular season, but in the postseason, which immediately flips the Indiana Fever into the contenders window. I salute this front office for not wasting any time seeing a potential lockout on the other side of this season and deciding that we have the players now. We just need to give them the tools to be successful. And just looking at it, those roster moves excited the fan base, and they also demonstrated a commitment to the young core that we are not going to waste time and we're going to try to get this thing rolling while you're still on your rookie contracts. So by the time it's time to actually pay you the big deals, there will already be a championship culture in the DNA. Not only are there different players, there's a different coach, as I mentioned as well. Chrissy Sides was fired after the season, a little bit in over her head after 2 seasons. Did do a decent job with the team bonding, was a defensive style coach, but never really had the answers offensively and at the end of games. And also some interpersonal stuff that I thought looked funny in the media as far as like exposing player conversations with the media. In her place comes Stephanie White, who was a previous coach on the Fever, who comes in from the Connecticut Sun and walks in the door fully knowing in how to not only use Caitlin Clark as the weapon she is, but she's also schemed against that weapon before. So taking those scouting reports has been invaluable this season to bring Caitlin up to speed to play defense against the defense that she's going to be seeing. I think the thing with Caitlin last year that was so phenomenal for me was the pressure that she was under to compete, to be a spokeswoman, to be the headline player in a league that has never really had one do it like her. Landmines everywhere between the legacy media, between ESPN, between Fox Sports, independent creators weighing in on her, whether they're pro or negative against her. The conversations of race and gender in sports, all swirling around this 6-foot woman from Iowa who really just wanted to play the game and play in a way that would captivate people from coast to coast. While she did not make the Olympic team, in what I feel is a travesty and is going to be looked at as a very stupid thing, she shattered the record books and really stamped the league as her own. And she walks into year 2 as the face of the league, unquestioned at this point by anyone with good sense. In her media availability this week, Caitlin said her goal is a championship this year and almost acted offended that the reporter did not seem to take her words literally. She was like, a championship, duh, that's the goal. And I absolutely believe the Indiana Fever will win the WNBA championship this year. I've talked myself around it. I'm saying, maybe she can get to the next round. That would be an achievement. But the more that I am talking myself into what has gone into this offseason with this team, this feels like the time a team steps forward. It's not on the timeline. The Fever are not waiting their turn anymore. Caitlin Clark's not waiting her turn anymore. Not waiting for everything to be passed. Gotta take it. And I think that's what they plan to do. I think the Indiana Fever are going to go 34-10 in the regular season, lock up a top 2 seed at minimum. I think Caitlin Clark will play inspired throughout the season, and it will look like an extension of that second half where she completely shattered offensive conventional wisdom to the tune of where, every Muse page and every, statistics page was saying something that had never been done in the history of the league. She'll be being compared to herself this season. Of course, I think we, do have to take into consideration that with better teammates, possibly the stats are affected. However, I think the winning will offset that. So yes, I too am picking Caitlin Clark to win the WNBA MVP this year. This team is going to play very fast paced. We saw how that started last year, but with better players, it's only going to be more effective. Very team oriented. A lot of different scoring threats, improved spacing. And all offseason, these folks have been focused. There's been tons of videos leaking about different private workouts that have gone on and all the pickup games that were going on, before training camp even opened. I like even what they did in the draft. I think Michaela Timpson is going to ultimately be the person that makes the team, and she's definitely going to be somebody with potential, not only in the short term, but the long term as well, when it comes to phasing out players like DeWanna Bonner or Natasha Howard, people that come in on these one-year deals. Having Timpson locked in on that rookie deal will be valuable going forward. The Fever is the most popular team in the league. And I think last year they have a little bit better idea of who they are themselves. It's not a surprise to Kelsey Mitchell about the crowd sizes anymore. It's not a surprise for Aliyah Boston that the hysteria that surrounds this team, they'll be able to share it even with the veterans who have not played in anything like this. I think Caitlin tried to be very deferential towards the norms and customs of the league last year. I think she tried to fit in amongst her team, and things had to kind of break away for her to gain control of the team. Everyone's walking in knowing the script this year, and that's going to be very valuable for them. I think the Liberty are the biggest challenge for the Indiana Fever this year, and we'll meet them in the WNBA Finals. And it's going to be a war. It's going to be a best-of-7 series. Sabrina versus Caitlin, I think. You got the whole front line to throw at. Brianna Stewart, Leonie Fibich, solid player there. And I think overall, this is just going to be a really fun team to watch. The overhauling of last year's players and this year's players, I think, is night and day. And I think last year's players captured the hearts of everyone already. So I can imagine what, better players in their place will feel like to the fans. I think Kelsey Mitchell will make second team All-W this year. She was robbed last year, in my opinion. Predicting another All-Star appearance for Aliyah Boston, who will continue to establish herself as one of the premier centers in the game. And yeah, I'm sure there will be a few setbacks time to time during the season. There will be a loss that I don't think we see coming at a certain point, or, a stretch where the team just isn't feeling it. They're in a funk, but I think those will be few and far between, especially compared to last year. America's most exciting team, the Indiana Fever, are going to kick the behinds of the league. And I'm saying it here first. We'll be here reviewing the games. We'll be here going through all the news, the narratives, tracking the awards. We'll be looking at the stats. We'll be looking at the records being shattered again. And man, I can't wait to do it. Anyway, my name is Rich Latta. What do you think is the ceiling for the Indiana Fever this year? Is this a championship team in your mind? What's their record going to be? Let me know down below. I'll holla at you guys. Peace. One lifetime.